What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another vlog here on our Hollywood Nights road trip. We actually just got done with Hollywood Nights and yesterday spent the day in St. Louis, Missouri. It was a blast. We got to check out the Gateway Arch National Park and the St. Louis City Museum, which if you want to hear more about, you can check out Travel Dash. Eventually it'll be up over there. But today we're at Six Flags St. Louis. So this is the premier park that serves the St. Louis metro area, and it looks fantastic. Well, I shouldn't say looks, I've been here before, but the backdrop of the park is absolutely stunning. I love how visually appealing the setting is with this place, and you got a lot of terrain coasters. Actually, Boss being a great example. It's my personal favorite coaster in this park, and that thing rips through the layout. It is absolutely awesome. Cannot wait for the boys to experience it. You have 10 roller coasters that call this park home, and Six Flags St. Louis, it opened in 1971. You definitely got a lot of history here. This was actually the third Six Flags park. It opened originally as Six Flags over Mid-America before being renamed to Six Flags St. Louis, which I think is a much better name, frankly. But yeah, it's a park I haven't been to since 2021, so it's been 4 years for me, and I remember really enjoying it. I always thought this park got way too much criticism. I had a great time with Josiah of National Coasters all those years back, so this time I'm happy to have Jack with me today.
Yep, my first time here. I'm really looking forward to it. Mark keeps having it Boss, same with Josiah, so we'll see. It looks really intense, and I've done Mr. Freeze over Texas, but it's been a long time, so I'm really looking forward to that one as well.
We are very excited too. Both of our first times. It's our first Mr. Freeze, which is really exciting.
Yes.
Don't underrate that. We're getting on Boss. I wonder how I'll feel about that. And also I'm really excited for Catwoman's Whip.
Yeah.
Those are my 3 most anticipated rides here.
I am super hyped for this park. It looks beautiful. It honestly looks like a pretty good Six Flags park, so I'm excited.
Since the last time I was at Six Flags St. Louis, they kind of revitalized their entry area, and this looks amazing with the coaster track being the Gateway Arch itself. I absolutely love that. And in general, once you get past these turnstiles, I think there's going to be a lot to look at. Look at this, a little plaque talking about Six Flags over Mid-America when it first opened, and this fountain and new entry area is absolutely gorgeous. I love this. First ride up today is actually not a roller coaster. It's Catwoman's Whip due to its poor capacity, but this is basically a massive Vomitron ride, and I rode this at Six Flags Great Escape and thought it was absolutely incredible. This is the only other Six Flags park that has this flat ride, and let me spin you guys around so you can see this. It is absolutely ridiculous. Every single time you get to that high point, you do a full rotation. Opened in 2022, so this is my first time experiencing it. It wasn't here last I came to the park. Oh, this is so tall. It's freaky. Oh! Oh! The cycle time is super long too, so after what we just did, now you get to appreciate the view at the top, which is awesome. You got the hills around the park. Man, I can't wait to get on some of these coasters. Look at that, guys. Wow, in between my legs. If you want to see more of that, check out, stop. It's on the Patreon, just kidding. Back around we go. This time we're going backwards. This cycle might even be more insane. Oh my gosh, dude. The wind up is always crazy too. You just have no idea when you're about to flip. Oh my god, this is one of the best flat rides in the world. Catwoman's Whip is incredible. It's as good as I remembered from Six Flags Great Escape when we got to do Adirondack Outlaw. Absolutely unbelievable. The forces on that, the swaying back and forth is crazy. The rotations are so disorienting. I don't think it's too intense though. It's graceful, but it's very whippy. I love that thing. I think it's great. The fact that you get a very long cycle, excellent views as well. That's a killer flat ride. In my opinion, one of the best in the world.
Yeah, that was, oh my god, it's unbelievable. It's so weird that Six Flags has that. Like, the capacity sucks. Everyone's always throwing up. It's never open, but I'm so glad that we got on it because it's so worth it. It's just that insane. It's great.
That's fantastic. Definitely one of my favorite flat rides I've ever done. The ride cycle is insanely long. You get to the top where they have the break where they unload the other side, and you feel like that'd be like about the average cycle for like a normal flat ride. It feels like you'd be done, but then you do it all over again. It's great. There's really good speed, positive G's, disorienting flips, and you get the amazing view at the top as well. The capacity for that is absolutely atrocious. Operations are pretty terrible as well, and somebody threw up, which caused a very long delay. So do that first, but excellent ride.
That is definitely like one of my favorite flat rides. It invokes a little bit of fear, like sitting there at the top, just stationary, just freaks me the hell out. So I think it's great, and I think it's definitely a must do, but you gotta get it done first.
Up next, the boys are getting a ride on the park's Boomerang coaster from Vekoma. Personally, this is one that I wanted to skip. I have all the coaster credits here, which is actually really nice so that I don't need to get on all the rides that frankly are trash, this being one of the few in the park. The only coaster that was closed my last visit was that big old wooden coaster right there, Screaming Eagle, which I'll talk about in a second. But first, let's discuss Boomerang. This actually used to operate at Six Flags over Texas, and that was built in 1989. It actually only opened at Six Flags St. Louis in 2013, so it's relatively new. It's one of the few that runs with aerodynamics trains, which is a pretty weird combination. Yeah, it's not one of my favorites at all. Screaming Eagle behind me is one that I am really looking forward to. Again, first time for me. This opened in 1976. It's a Philadelphia Toboggan Company wooden coaster. I love these classic woodies. I think this one has a great layout. It goes way out into the woods. It's super long. 3,800 feet of track is ridiculous, and the fact that it's not even the longest wooden coaster in the park. There's 3 woodies in this park, and they're all fantastic. So yeah, I can't wait to get on Screaming Eagle. That'll be a lot of fun. My assumption is that you guys loved it.
Sucked.
I mean, the restraints weren't bad.
Yeah, they're
but-
aero trains.
Oh, what?
Yeah, isn't that
That's
weird?
crazy.
Really looking forward to this. What's weird is they retracked the lift hill, but none of the rest. That's bizarre. Whoa! 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 Woo! It's fun. Whoa! Whoa! Woo! Oh, wow. I like this. Oh my, what in the world? Woo! Oh my gosh. This is massive. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Wow! Wow! Whoa! It was great to finally ride Screaming Eagle after 4 years since my last visit to the park, and I have to say, I really enjoyed it. It was a ratchet wooden coaster, absolutely crazy, and that layout is enormous. It feels like you're going on forever. I can't believe that's not even the longest woody in the park. That being said, there's not much in the way of forces. You have 2 pretty solid moments of airtime, but in terms of just a classic wooden coaster, that's pretty excellent, actually. I really thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that one was fun. I did it towards the back. It was a bit rough, but I didn't think it was awful. I didn't do it on a wheel seat though, so maybe on a wheel seat it'd be really bad. I didn't think most of the ride did very much. Like, it was fun.
I rode it twice, third to front, the second time somewhere in the middle. I think it was a wheel seat. And the first time I actually got some decent airtime, especially like right before the turnaround. And the second time I really did not get any forces at all, except for maybe on the drop at the turnaround, which did not happen to me on the first ride. So really jank, but kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm shocked it was that rough in the very front row. I'm actually shocked by that, but there were some airtime moments. It's not absurdly rough to the point that it's terrible. I like how it goes like through the woods. It's kind of like Great American Scream Machine if it was surrounded by trees.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, I'm so stoked to get on Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast. This is gonna be sweet. Premier Rides shuttle launch coaster that opened in 1998. This is unbelievable. 218 or something feet tall. That's the tallest coaster element in Missouri right there with that spike. It's actually so tall that there's a launch built onto the top of that thing so that you can utilize the full extent of it. Whoa! 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 Oh my god! Ah! Oh my gosh, Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast was running absolutely phenomenal. I was a big fan of that. That backwards launch is killer, and then going up into that inverted top hat, you get some crazy forces. Airtime laterals out the wazoo, dude. That was sick. The overbank is forceful, and then you go up that spike, and you feel that weightlessness, and you get to stare straight down to the ground. That is crazy. And I've actually been in the fortunate position to have ridden over Texas's Mr. Freeze coaster as well, where they actually replaced one of the backwards trains with a forwards train. So now you can choose whether or not to do a forwards or backwards ride, and that is really cool for the variation, but I will say going backwards is easily better than a forwards train in my opinion. So honestly, I don't mind that you don't have the option here. I think a backwards ride is just better, and that was absolutely incredible.
That was great. It's been 5 years since I did the one at Over Texas. I only ever got one ride on it, so I didn't remember it very well. So this is almost like a new ride for me. And it was so intense, crazy positives. It's a short ride, but I don't really mind because it does a lot with, you know, what it has. And the part that surprised me is there's really surprising airtime on both the inverted top hat and the spike.
Oh my god. That was an adrenaline rush. That was great. I love that.
I love that so much. Going into the, let me start over. That was so much fun. I love a good launch, and that certainly was a good launch. I'm so glad I finally got to do one of these.
We're gonna check out American Thunder up next. It's a Great Coasters International Woody from 2008. What's interesting is the last time I experienced this layout was in Finland as Thunderbird, so it's gonna be really interesting to get back on the original. Oh, never mind, it's not the original. That's crazy. American Thunder is actually a clone, who would have thought? But it doesn't matter, no one's gonna be riding this coaster in America and Finland, unless you're a nerd like myself. So yeah, let's get a ride on American Thunder. Hopefully this is running good in 2025. I remember really liking this. All right, here we go. Woo! Whoa! Yes! Woo! Oh, wow. Whoa! Woo! Whoa! Whoa! This is really good. Woo! Whoa! Speed hills. Woo! 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 Oh! Whoa! Nice. American Thunder has a great layout, fantastic airtime, but damn, it is rough. I was surprised. We rode in the front row, and I felt like that should have been the smoothest seat on that. I can't even imagine the other seats now. Compared to a few years ago when I did, it was a lot smoother then. It was uncomfortable, but I did enjoy it. It is a lot of fun.
It's a great layout, great airtime. I just can't believe it was that rough in the front. Wow, it's good, but retract that thing. Oh my God.
Yeah, when you said this was built in 2008, I just like didn't believe you because the station looks like crap, the queue looks like crap, the ride feels like crap. I don't know, like it definitely has potential.
I don't know, I liked it. I don't really mind the roughness. I have a high tolerance for roughness, so I don't mind. And I thought I had some pretty good airtime. Definitely weak for GCIs.
All right, we're gonna hop on the iconic Pandemonium spinning family coaster. You can find it at a whole bunch of Six Flags parks. This is a nice ride actually from Gerstlauer. This particular installation was 2007, and I really, really like it. A lot of fun helixes on this. All right, let's get a good spin. Come on. Whoa! Whoa, there we go. Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Oh, that's awesome. Wow! 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 Whoa! No trims! Oh, why is this great? Oh, this is awesome. Oh my gosh, that was so good. I'm glad I actually ended up filming that one because I wasn't originally going to. I already have that coaster credit, so I was like, do I want to ride this? As it turns out, hell yeah, I did. That was awesome. We got crazy spinning during the second half of that. Some legitimately shocking airtime because there was no trims on those mid-course brake runs, and that was so smooth. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
That spun so much that really caught me off guard. Those are really great family coasters, and that was the best of the Pandemoniums.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. Like, I have one of those at home. It doesn't ever spin anything like that. That was crazy.
That was low-key the best ride in the park.
Oh my gosh, it's time to get on the Boss. I really hope this lives up to the hype because when I last did this, I loved it. Said it was one of the most underrated wooden coasters in the world. This opened in the year 2000 from Custom Coasters International, 4,600 feet of track. Like, are you kidding? Since my last visit, they also added a small sliver of Titan track in one of the valleys. That'll be interesting to see if that speeds up the ride, but it'll sure as hell make it a little bit smoother too. In general though, it's not a coaster I ever thought was as rough as people said, but it's definitely not smooth either. Can you believe the scale of that? Like, it is enormous. All right, we are in the front row of Boss. It looks like they retracked the first little section here, so this should be really smooth, and then it'll be interesting to see how the rest is running. Look at that, though. That is incredible. Oh, my gosh. Oh, we're way up here. Here we go. Here we go. Woo! Whoa! 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 Wow! Oh, my goodness! First section was so smooth. This thing makes no sense. Holy crap. And then we're gonna slow down. This part is so crazy. It makes no sense at all. Woo! Whoa! Oh my gosh. I remember this from last time. It just crawls over these hills. Whoa! Second half. What the hell? Whoa! Woo! Oh! Whoa! so bizarre. We can't figure out what the hell is wrong with this ride. This ride is so weird. It's crazy. We came back around to the back row, so let's see how this is. Oh! A boxing ring, holy crap.
And now it slows down to a crawl.
Whoa! Look at how slow it goes over this hill, it's unbelievable. Whoa! The boss, while honestly probably not quite as good as I remembered, is still very, very intense, and I would still say my favorite coaster in the park, but by not as much this time around. Last time it was a blowout. This time I only like it a little bit more than Mr. Freeze, but I still think it's a top 100 coaster for me. It's just absolutely mad, dude. I have no idea what's going on during that whole thing, because now you have GCI wood sections on the drop and then that dip, which is such a great sequence. I absolutely love that. Then you have that steel Titan track from GCI on that turn, and that is so smooth. It feels odd in that layout because a lot of it is unbelievably rough. That being said, it does speed up the first half. The first half of that ride is unfathomably intense. And then you hit that mid-course break ground and you crawl over a couple hills. It is bizarre. Then you speed back up again. You build up quite a bit of that momentum back. And that second half is fun, but definitely flawed. A lot of those airtime hills are just a little bit too elongated to offer anything strong. That being said, the ride still rips. It is crazy. And then you finish with a fantastic double down too, which I love. So that's definitely a highlight of the ride as well. But that's a really interesting coaster where the first half for me blows my mind. Second half could use work.
That is one of the weirdest wooden coasters I've ever done. The layout is so odd. Like you were saying, it just rips through the first half. It's crazy intense. This is one of the few wooden coasters that I would say is speed focused, which is really odd. And yeah, if you don't like rough rides, you definitely won't like this one. The steel track felt really weird on this, like Mark said, because it's like bizarre how smooth it is compared to the rest of the ride. My issue with it is those trims slow it down to a crawl. There's a few of those elements where it goes way too high and it loses like all of its speed. So the ride is kind of split into two distinct halves, and the second half is very lackluster, but it is super long and intense. So it's one that I personally enjoy.
That ride's so strange. I mean, I don't like hate it, but it's probably like my least favorite CCI. I don't know what they were thinking with that. Like, actually, it'd just be doing whatever, and it's like, I don't know, it's not a good layout, and it runs quite poorly. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't like that one. I don't get it.
It's not for everyone.
I just don't get it,
But you agree it's like one of the most intense wooden coasters in the first half. Like, it is ripping.
It just be doing whatever. I don't know, man.
You know what? This ride has potential. I rode it 3 times in a row. Every time it was just like glass smooth at the drop, and it felt like how Holiday World maintains their woodies. And if this roller coaster was at Holiday World, I feel like I'd like it a lot more. You know, there's so many great airtime moments, but it's kind of just hindered by the fact that you're like bracing yourself the whole time. But I don't know, the speed in the first half is like incredible, so I can't really decide if I like it.
It's a tale of two halves.
Yeah.
Take a look at the newest coaster investment from the exit of the Boss. This is Rookie Racer, a Vekoma Junior coaster that opened in 2023. It was a shock when they announced this because Six Flags St. Louis hadn't gotten a coaster in a very, very long time. Granted, it's small. They needed a kiddie coaster desperately, and this is one hell of a kiddie coaster. Like, this layout is actually fantastic. I think I did this at Energylandia in Poland, and I loved it. I thought it was a great ride. Honestly, it's more akin to a family coaster than a kiddie coaster. I like the audio, it's pretty cool. This is gonna be so smooth. Whoa!
Oh, it's so smooth.
Oh, this is so fun. Oh! Sweet addition to the park. I thought that was a lot of fun. It's super smooth. The audio's cool. You like it?
Yeah, fun little kiddie coaster.
It was so enjoyable. Genuinely a more enjoyable coaster than the Boss.
I was like, do you like it more? And she was like, yeah.
It's very good. It's very smooth. It's exactly what this park needed. It's great. I like it. Except, I have one question. This is in like a little DC area. The one time I think it would be excusable to get away with a DC theme. They like came up with their own theme. I don't know. I'm just confused by this park. Like, the DC rides are in like random places. There's no cohesion to it. I don't know. I'm just confused where they pulled this theme out of.
They brought in a whole bunch of new menu items to the restaurants here at Six Flags St. Louis and across the chain as a whole after the merger. And look what I just got, a peach cobbler. Like, what the heck? We're at a Six Flags park. It's so hot. This is like one of the best theme park food items I've ever had.
That's incredible.
No, try it. No, you're not gonna believe how good this is.
Ooh, good as fuck.
We're gonna get on the Aerodynamics Mine Train River King Mine Ride up next. This is a really fun mine train. Nowadays, it just has a standard layout and a standard ride experience, but once upon a time, this was quite a bit different. As a matter of fact, it was radically different. So this first opened in 1971. I'm gonna read off the RCDB page because it has a lot of interesting history on this. It originally opened as 2 side-by-side mine train coasters. Nowadays, the other side can be found at Magic Springs in Arkansas. Then in 1984, stand-up trains were installed on this, and the name was changed to Railblazer, and that made this one of the first stand-up coasters in the world. Eventually, due to problems with the stand-up trains, they were gotten rid of, and the normal trains were brought back onto the track. So again, nowadays, pretty ordinary ride, but that's so cool to kind of learn about that. Great terrain layout on this. I'm actually really looking forward to getting back on the mine ride. Down the drop! Whoa! Whoa! Woo! Whoa! Why does it grip? Oh, second lift till now. Woo! Whoa! Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine this as a stand-up coaster. Whoa! Oh my gosh, it's crawling. And we got one last lift hill, a small one. Oh gosh, we're snaking our way over. Here we go. Whoa! Oh, that was crazy. That was a fun mine train. I definitely don't hate that one. A little bit of a meandery layout, but it's kind of cool how it utilizes the terrain, and it's relatively smooth. I just don't like the seats very much.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was just uncomfortable because it's not padded at all. It's kind of awkward to hold on. I don't know. It's kind of uncomfortable, but the ride experience itself is not bad.
That was a fun mine train. I mean, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too rough or anything. I just can't believe that used to be a stand-up.
The drop at the end was cool. I like the tunnel.
Totally forgot we still had a Batman the Ride to get on here. This is actually a great inverted coaster, opened in 1995, and this is the mirrored layout. Super, super intense, short but to the point. Really, really fun. This is the front gate coaster too. Here we go, Batman. Woo! Whoa! Whoa! Oh my God! Oh! Oh! Oh my God! Oh! This is running insane, bro!
First time!
Oh my God! Oh! That just goes to show B&M inverts are awesome because that's like the most standard layout and it kicks ass. It is so much fun. Also, I feel like of all the Batman clones, Six Flags St. Louis has probably one of the least talked about ones, at least in the Six Flags chain, and that rips. Oh my God.
That one was really intense. I was expecting it to be one of the weak Batman clones, but it was honestly really strong. It ran fast. It was crazy intense.
That was good, but it was a little more headbangy than normal.
It is,
yeah. But it's still a Batman clone. They're still good.
Yeah, I pretty much thought the same thing. Like, it was pretty intense, especially in the first half, but definitely some headbanging there. Thankfully, I kept my head forward, though.
One more major coaster behind me, and that's Ninja. This is another one just like the Boomerang that I'm gonna skip because personally, this is one of the roughest steel coasters I've ever been on, and it shows because it was started by Aerodynamics, then they fell into bankruptcy, and then Vekoma had to come through and finish it. 2 coaster manufacturers that are known for making some really rough rides. Both innovative, but you definitely have some sketchy projects here and there.
That was pretty bad, but it's not the worst ride of that kind that I've done. It was worth for the credit.
To wrap things up, we're gonna get on the park's massive Ferris wheel. This opened in '86. It is super old and it is huge. One of the biggest Ferris wheels I've seen in the country, actually.
In March of next year. This will be the London eye.
All right, there you go. Six Flags St. Louis, very successful visit. We got on every single coaster. We got on some cool flat rides. It was a fantastic time, I thought. This park definitely is not perfect. Visually, it's whatever, right? It's just generic Six Flags, but I think it's carried by a shockingly great ride lineup. You have some fantastic wooden coasters in this park. Mr. Freeze is incredible. You have an amazing flat ride in Catwoman's Whip and a couple others that we didn't even get to do today. The setting's also really beautiful. I love the hills and mountains around the park. Operations need work. Again, there's just little things here and there, but it's definitely a park with a lot of potential. I hope Six Flags keeps it around in the chain because I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah, this is a solid park. I'd say it has the classic Six Flags flaws with the appearance and the operations like Mark mentioned, but yeah, the depth here is really shocking because they have a lot of really good rides. They have a lot of really intense rides too. Their Batman clone is crazy, Boss is one of the most intense wooden coasters out there. Mr. Freeze absolutely ripped. That's my favorite ride in the park. That was great. I really do think they could use an elite headliner. I don't know if they'll get one anytime soon though, which is a shame. But yeah, definitely recommend visiting. This is a cool place.
Yeah, I mean, it looks super promising from the front of the park and like beautiful, but as you get in, everything's kind of starts to look like it's falling apart a little bit. But you know, we didn't have to wait in any lines today, and I'm not sure if that's a testament to the operations or just to the lack of people in the park. But honestly, like pretty smooth day, above average Six Flags experience.
Yeah, I like it. It's a little ugly in some parts, but I can cope with that. It's been a great day. I'm very pleased with my visit here.
There you go. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one from Silver Dollar City. I can't believe I'm saying that out loud. Peace out, everyone.